Moving on to insight number 2, why quick fixes fail and aren't sustainable. I once spoke to an executive in his 50s who flew to Turkey for a stomach balloon to help him with weight loss. He kept it in for 3 miserable months, during which he experienced excruciating symptoms like nausea, vomiting, and bloating. He eventually had to fly back to Turkey just to get it removed. Time, energy, and thousands of dollars wasted. But the worst part? He ended up even heavier than before at 110 kilograms and was later diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. So, what went wrong? I mean, the balloon was supposed to help him lose weight, right? Well, that's what they tell you, but not really. You see, when the balloon is inserted and filled with air or liquid, it simply reduces the amount of space in your stomach. As a result, you fill up quickly and eat small amounts of food. But that's exactly where the problem begins. Eating little isn't just skipping meals, fasting, low-calorie juicing, or vegetable diets. It's anything that limits the amount of food digested and absorbed into your blood circulation. 1. Suppressing appetite. For example, the stomach balloon we just discussed, drugs like Ozempic, gliptins, for example, sitagliptin, saxagliptin, etc. 2. Blocking digestion or absorption. For example, drugs like Acarbose, traded as Glucobe here in Uganda, or Olistat. 3. Speeding up the flow of food through the intestines. For example, gastric bypass surgery or colon cleanses. And 4. Inducing nausea, vomiting, or diarrhea. For example, slim teas and certain herbs. At first, eating too little may help you lose fat. But if this continues for days or weeks, your body stops getting enough energy to function properly. Think of a car engine that regularly runs on an almost empty tank. Over time, it gets stressed and its performance drops. The same thing happens to your body. To cope with this stress, it shifts certain key hormones, cortisol, thyroid, sex, and hunger hormones. The result? Your metabolism slows down, so you burn fewer calories while at rest. 2. Your hunger increases, leading you to eat more than you should. The combination of burning fewer calories and overeating causes you to regain any weight lost, often even more than before. You probably know, or have been, that person who lost a lot of weight at first and celebrated, only to gain it all back and even more in the weeks to months that followed. Other potential effects of eating too little are 3. Your fertility drops, showing up as PCOS or polycystic ovarian syndrome, and irregular cycles in women, and erectile dysfunction in men. 4. You build up visceral fat, which we've already discussed. And 5. You lose muscle mass. Muscle is important because 1. It improves your physical appearance. When you lose muscle, it first shows in your face and upper arms, making you look thinner, weaker, and frail. 2. It burns about 25% of the calories you use at rest. You will never sustainably lose fat if you keep losing muscle. And 3. It absorbs 80% of blood glucose in healthy individuals, helping to regulate blood sugar levels. Notably, with Ozempic, up to 40% of the weight lost can actually be muscle, which makes it especially dangerous. This is why tracking weight loss with a weighing scale is not the best option. It doesn't always mean fat loss. It could mean you've 1. Gained muscle while losing fat, which is actually the best result, or 2. Lost more muscle than fat, which is a bad outcome. That's why, instead of depending on a weighing scale, I focus on tracking body fat, visceral fat, and muscle mass for my clients. And where that's not possible, I recommend tracking waist size or how clothes fit around the waist instead of just depending on weight. That said, you will never sustainably lose fat if you depend on any of these methods. Instead, you will harm your body and become more and more unhealthy. It's simply fiction. If you value your health, stop depending on these methods.